Is your lead generation not working out as much as you expected it to be? You're like wondering where those hot leads are and whether or not you should quit using this new lead generation strategy? Well, in this video, I'm going to be talking about the 3 reasons why your lead generation strategy might not be working and how you can fix it. So stay tuned. Hey guys, it's Peggy Yee here with Citrus Templates, and I am a real estate coach that teaches agents how to use systems to grow their business without getting overwhelmed. So if you're new here, hit the subscribe button for new videos every week. So we've all been through that roller coaster of lead generation, right? We're like super excited to start one. We've seen like other agents being super successful at it. You've got your new software, your new strategies, you're learning all this stuff. And then we get this kind of, downward turn where we're like, where are these hot leads? How come they're not coming in? Why aren't I closing as much deals as I should be, right? And you're kind of starting to wonder, like, is it me? Is it the lead generation strategy? Should I quit? Am I doing it wrong? So we'll get into all of that today. So I'm going to talk about the 3 reasons why your lead generation strategy might not be working. So the first reason is that you might just not have been doing it long enough or consistently enough. So if you start a new lead generation strategy, I would recommend start using it for at least 6 months before determining, whether there's a return on your investment or not. You have to be in it for the long haul. You can't really expect, after a month to be closing all these deals, right? You've got to be in it for a really long time, at least 6 months, to really see if there is a return on that investment. And in some cases, such as like farming neighborhoods with postcards and things like that, that could take up to a year in order to start seeing those results. So before you get into a lead generation strategy, you've got to be thinking about how long the average agent takes to actually start getting results from that strategy. Second, you also have to be thinking about if you're doing it consistently enough. Things like, social media, like YouTube, you've got to be posting pretty consistently for your potential leads to be, seeing you all the time, to be remembering you, for them to be able to reach out to you at the right time. So if maybe, you started a social media campaign, but you're only posting, a week here and then 2 weeks go by and then you realize you forgot to post and you post 3 things in 1 week and then you forget again, if you are not consistent at any strategy, it's not going to work. So think about, in the last month, how consistent have you been in doing that strategy? If you haven't been consistent, then you either need to figure out how to become more consistent, either through systems or automation or something like that. Or if you really don't think you can be consistent with that strategy, then I would abandon it and just don't waste your time. If you're not going to be consistent, it's not going to get you a return. So I would abandon that and go choose some other lead generation strategy that you can be more consistent at. Okay? So that's the first one, if you haven't been doing it long enough or consistently enough. Okay. Now, the second reason why most lead generation strategies don't work is because the quality of the leads may not be what you're expecting. So if you do have leads coming in, that's a good sign, right? Now you have to assess whether or not the quality of those leads are actually good, right? So like Facebook leads tend to have a longer time frame, right? They tend to not be like, I'm going to buy right now as a hot lead. Versus, they're kind of getting information. They want to, maybe know their home value or know the first steps of buying a house, right? These aren't like super, super hot leads. They're not great leads in that sense. Long-term leads can be great leads if you have a very good lead follow-up system, right? The best agents out there have an excellent lead follow-up system, so that even if somebody comes in and they're not ready to buy for like 6 months to a year, they can be following up with them throughout the whole time, so that when that buyer or that seller is ready, you are the one that they reach out to. So if you don't have that follow-up system, then either you guys have to look into that, of looking at how you can follow up with people for the long term, or you have to be focusing on really hot leads. Right? These can be for sale by owner, expired leads, people who know that they need to sell or they tried to sell and it's not working for them. Those kinds of hot leads are just more immediate, that you will find that you'll get a better return faster because they're ready to go. So I would also be looking at your marketing, like what kind of messaging are you putting out and what kinds of people are responding to that messaging, right? So somebody who responds to an ad that says, I need to sell my house, how to sell your house in the next 7 days, is obviously going to be a much hotter lead than somebody who's reaching out to an ad that says, know your home value, right? So I would be looking at your messaging and seeing, what kinds and what quality of leads are coming in based upon your messaging, and you may need to adjust your messaging to find, maybe those hotter leads. And then number three, the third reason why most lead generation strategies don't really work out is because your lead conversion sucks. It's no amount of lead conversion is going to fix, no amount of lead generation is going to fix your lead conversion. It's just kind of what it is. You need to be honest with yourself about how well you personally are at converting your leads. And the best way, if you're not converting very well, the best way to do this is to record yourself. Now, check with state laws about recording and all that. I know it varies with different states, but if you can record yourself for your own, learning purposes, that's great, because that's a way that you can go back and really listen to yourself and to how you're responding to objections. If you're sounding too salesy on the call or you're sounding too pushy, this is a way for you to really get some good feedback and kind of self-awareness of what's going on when you're listening to your calls. The other good thing about recording calls is if you have a team, you can also start to fix issues with your team members on, oh, maybe you should have said it this way, or this is how I would have said it. It's a really great coaching opportunity for agents on your team as well, if you can, listen back to the calls that they're actually having. Now, if you can't do that, another really great way to increase your lead conversion is to role play. So I would, find other agents that, in your office or, even anywhere that want to practice like objections or certain scripts and things like that, that you can really start to get practice with other agents and get more comfortable with kind of overcoming objections, leading people to a decision, all of that kind of stuff. So the good news is that if this is your issue of lead conversion, it can definitely be fixed. Agents are not born knowing how to convert leads. And so by learning and practicing that skill of lead conversion, you can get very good at it very quickly. So that would be another area to focus on. So in the end, these are the top 3 reasons why your lead generation strategy might not be working. 1, you might not have been doing it long enough or consistently enough. Number 2, the quality of your leads may not be that great. And number 3, your lead conversion might suck. So once you know what the problem is, now you can diagnose it and really figure out for yourself if it's a lead generation strategy that you want to continue with, or it's something that you want to abandon and kind of go with another direction. So if you guys like this video, please hit the subscribe button below. And if you guys have any questions about how to set up systems for your business, feel free to reach out to me anytime. We have a lot of templates and courses at citrustemplates.com where we help agents, organize their business and get everything up and running. So I'll talk to you next time.